Relations and EnRich at Richland Community College, and this session focused on the critical role of education, trade in schools, and career technical education, CTE programs in today's workforce development. We are extremely happy to be here on this particular evening. I have brought some friends with me, and I'll let them introduce themselves. Hey, man, we'll start with you down here.
Great. Hi, everybody. My name is China Hampton. I am the Equity Director for Climate Jobs Illinois in partnership with the Illinois American Federation of Labor and the Chicago Federation of Labor and the Cook County Building and Construction Trades Council. Happy to be here.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Kimberly Harvell. I'm the Executive Director for the Workforce Equity Initiative Grant at Olive Harvey College called Project Evolve.
Good afternoon. I'm Kara Demerjen Huss, Senior Vice President at TCCI Manufacturing, a global compressor company servicing the OE industries in the class 3 to 8 commercial vehicles. And I'm also the founder and president of DCC Marketing, a women business entity. I'm so excited to be here today, and I'm also the vice president of the Illinois Manufacturers Association, as well as was appointed last May of 2023 to the governor's Illinois Workforce Innovation Board.
Wow. Nate Ward, District Director of Engagement and Outreach for City Colleges of Chicago. That's it.
Well, let's jump right into it. Kara, as the electric vehicle industry rapidly expands, there's increasing focus on innovation and sustainability. However, one of the most pressing challenges in this potential workforce shortage in the clean energy sector, from your unique perspective, can you share your thoughts on the key workforce challenges facing the electric vehicle industry?
I sure can, and I have the pleasure of working with Courtney by his side at Richland Community College. TCCI Manufacturing is also located in Decatur, Illinois, and we were the recipients of the first Reimagine Electric Vehicle Incentive Program for the state of Illinois and helped to write. Yes, thank you. We did a lot of work to write the policy to help bring electric vehicle and the supply chain economy to Illinois. So couldn't be more proud to stand by Courtney's side for that. And we also are building an EV innovation hub together in Decatur, Illinois, that will have the community college embedded inside of our manufacturing facility, one of a kind in the United States. There'll be 3 classrooms to seat 40 kids in each classroom with immersive access onto our plant floor, because we have to start building the gap in students interested in the manufacturing industry and particularly interested in that clean energy area. And some of the things that we're doing that are critical that we see is we need more engineers, more computer science majors, particularly that software application engineers. So we've created 2+2 programs with many of the universities across the state with the community college. And almost as if not more important are these direct-to-career jobs. We're working together to build jobs in HVAC technicians, electrical service and maintenance technicians, as well as energy auditors, and as well as, what's the last one? Help me. Tamika. Solar PVL, and Tamika is helping with the CJA and Equitable Jobs Act. We were a hub awarded in Decatur, Illinois, to help really bring those jobs to the market and recruit and help for equitable job growth. I think one of the things they said earlier today about PUSH, which is so important, I believe, is this, the whole premise around peace, equity, and serving humanity. And I think that's just what we're doing in Decatur.
Thanks, Kara. Nate, this question is for you. Supporting the transition to sustainable mobility requires a diverse range of career paths and specialized training, which in turn demands strong collaborations, curriculum development, and targeted recruitment efforts. What role do community colleges play in bridging the gap between industry needs and workforce readiness in the clean energy sector?
Wow, so I think we're critical in that space. Community colleges are grassroots, and with city colleges, there's a city college in every neighborhood of Chicago, almost. And so what we're trying to do is leverage relationships with the local schools so that it's a seamless transition from the high school straight into your city colleges. And through our city colleges, there's various training programs. We're working with solar panel now. We're working with the trade program. So literally, a graduating senior can graduate, start school in August, graduate high school in June, enjoy your summer, start school in August, and by December, have a certificate in a trade making a living wage. And so that transition is something I think is critical. So community colleges across the country should be looking at how do they partner with their local high schools so they can create a pipeline. Because again, everybody might be ready for a 4-year, but everybody's ready for a career. And so we want to push that message out there.
Right, thank you so much. Dr. Kim, question for you. How you doing? Amen. I know firsthand programs like the EnRich program have been highly successful in moving Decatur residents into employment quickly. What programs and initiatives have you been a part of that are shaping equitable job growth and addressing workforce, particularly in underrepresented communities?
Well, that is Project Evolve. Project Evolved is the WE program at Olive Harvey College, and we service our community in that area. And the grant focuses on Black and brown males, but it's open to anyone. And the programs that we cover are aviation, auto diesel, I'm sorry, I had a brain.
It's all right.
I did the same thing.
CDL, A and B, and also a new program that I'm really proud of, Criminal Justice 1 Year and Out program. And we are partnered with Chicago Police Department, and our students can come in, take classes, and within a year, they can be applying for the police academy. And they don't have to take the written test if they pass our program. So that is huge for us. And it's helping people in the community to see people that they know that are becoming police officers. You know, and the goal is if they see them doing that, then I can do that. We offer a lot of programs during the summer. We just finished up our STEAM camp. We have students young students at our college, and they're getting to see their parents working there or their parents going to school there, and we are really tapping into supporting our community. Our students with Project Evolve, we have tons of resources that you've heard throughout the day in higher ed to help with supporting them not just being ready for college, but being ready for life. So they can have mental health in our wellness center. We have a food pantry. They have access to weekly. We have help with if they need housing. Our grant covers tuition, books. We try to have all types of activities so that they feel like they are a part of the Olive Harvey College community. So when I think about Project Evolve, the Evolve is about the student evolving. And the goal is to get them high-skilled, high-demand positions where they're making 30% above the living wage. So we bring our students in, we get them excited about the programs, and we help them complete. So.
Thank you so much, and it's extremely essential to understand a short-term certificate can permit a high-paying job, and you'll leave with that certificate, go into employment without the strain and headache and heartache of being in debt that some of us are still going through with that four-year degree.
Definitely, and one of the other things that we do, because some people come and they have records, and so we have a justice center, a criminal justice center that will be opening soon, and we also partner with other community CBO organizations to help our students get their records clear so they can go to work. So they can get out and get those jobs, and they have no barriers. So that's what our goal is. We want to have them complete and be able to take care of their families.
That's so good. Clap it up for that.
I want to add something to that, because one of the things that until we learn how to beam people and packages from point A to point B, there's always going to be a need for transportation, distribution, logistics. And through Olive Harvey College and through Project Evolve, that's one of those fields and those careers that you don't hear about in our communities, logistics and transportation. But as of the pandemic with Amazon, we've seen how this explosion of needing CDL drivers. And we're talking about a truck driver, whether it's local or the road, we're talking about 6 figures. And through Project Evolve, we are literally, in case y'all missed that, paying the tuition, giving a stipend, helping with all other barriers to get people from where they are to that 6-figure job, truck driving or other careers. And so that equity, we talked about that. That's that equity equalizer that we're trying to get out there, and we're doing it. Yeah. But again, exposing people to these high-earning careers that don't need a 4-year degree.
Can I add to that too?
Sure.
Because I think, Nate, at city colleges, there are some amazing things going on there. I was with Dean Bashir from the College of Engineering at the University of Illinois with Juan Salgado, Chancellor, and they were talking about all of the amazing programs that you're doing and implementing to get kids through in these high-paying careers. They can directly get in then to a University of Illinois if they want, or any of those other universities, and it's so critical today, partnerships like that. And I know even at Olive Harvey, Lion Electric is working hand in hand with the school and the partnership there on different areas to make sure that these students understand and know and have applicable industry experience, and it's just exciting.
That's magnificent. China, we've discussed workforce development initiatives and growing demands for jobs, but I'd like to shift the focus to attraction and retention. Given your distinct roles, what strategies have you implemented to attract and retain talent in this evolving industry, in particular Black and brown people?
Well, thank you. And I think with all of my colleagues here, a lot of what they've mentioned before is a lot of what we use to retain great talent. So as I mentioned before, I work with the Illinois American Federation for Labor. So what we do is we represent all of the unions across the great state of Illinois. I worked this past year to help Hire 360, which is a workforce development organization, secure $8.9 million to do workforce development under the CEJA grant. So we will be partnering with them on the Climate Works pre-apprenticeship program. We have 13 partners across the state. Decatur is actually one of the areas that we're working with, Workforce Investment Solutions. So I have heard very much about EnRich and the great work that you guys are doing, so looking forward to partnering with you guys. But I think what we do to attract and retain great talent is you gotta have a marketing strategy, a great marketing strategy. So what we do is we use landing pages for everybody that is interested in potentially partnering with us. In addition to those landing pages, I think as the doctor mentioned here, we also provide supportive services through Barrier Reduction Fund. So when we advocated for CEJA about 2 or 3 years ago, we were very thoughtful in the process as it concerns ensuring that as candidates are going through these respective programs, they have supports necessary to make sure that they are able to sustain themselves in these programs. So we provide a stipend through going through our pre-apprenticeship program. So you've got a stipend support. That stipend ensures that as you go through whatever program, whether it be a 6-week NAB2 program, a NYSER program, you have a stipend that will support you through that program. In addition to that stipend, you have transportation support. You have child care assistance. Mental health support is really big. And so again, these are things that we want to ensure. We've heard from our candidates as they've been going through these programs, hey, I can't do this program if I don't have a little money in my pocket. We're ensuring that we're providing that stipend and those wraparound services to help them move forward. In addition to partnering with our union contractors to ensure that at the end of this training, individuals have an opportunity, which is why I have the seat at the table to be able to talk with our trades and talk to labor about, hey, what opportunities will be available, and in turn partner with our contractors.
I'd like to tag in on that.
Please do. That was good stuff.
That is great.
Yeah.
And it is important that we offer students resources to succeed, but we also need to make sure that students are being successful in the classroom. And that's where we have our success coaches, catching them early and, making sure they're staying on task, making sure that, they get their books in time, making sure that, other issues outside of school don't hinder them from being successful. So that is important, and that's where all those extra resources come in. And that's where having a great faculty who really want to be in the classroom and really want to teach and be passionate about what they do. Because students, whether you're old, young, you pick up on if your faculty member is not there to be supportive. And we have a really good supportive faculty at Olive Harvey College. I'm really, really glad to be a part of that family because they go over and beyond to help our students succeed. And so, again, the money is important, but also what happens in the classroom is even more important.
Shameless plug, I went to City Colleges of Chicago. So I did 2 years there. I'm very close with Chancellor Salgado. I'm actually one of their success students. I did 2 years there, transferred over to UIC, and then ended up getting my master's. So City Colleges was my first choice, not my last chance.
And that's great. That's great. That's what we're pushing out there. But one of the things that I want to talk about, as we talk about recruitment, we're waiting too late. We need to be in elementary schools, in 7th and 8th grade, showing these students the possibility of careers and non-traditional careers. We need to be putting people in front of them that are STEMs or that people are working or even construction workers and whatnot, and talking about, in its vain, but what kind of car they drive, how much money they make. So that it's planting this seed in 7th and 8th grade, so when they get to high school, they have somewhat of an idea of more expanded idea of what careers are available for them. Because, we talk about all the time, you hear a doctor or a lawyer go to college. Right. No, there's a lot of other opportunities out there that make crazy money that can really sustain you, but we have to catch them earlier. We're waiting too late to start doing career development. Career development needs to start in elementary school.
And I think one of the things that Courtney and I did in Decatur was we brought together the superintendents, the principals, and the counselors from across the county. So not just the Decatur city, but the entire county. We brought them into one room and talked about that, the types of jobs that are going to be available, the facilities that we're building between our TCCI manufacturing and Richland Community College, and brought that in at a much earlier age so that at 8th grade, in 7th grade, they can start getting exposed with their counselors about a career path for the future. And eventually, we're hoping that they can graduate from high school with either their AS or AAS degree and go straight into work or right into a university. And so really exciting things happening that are building. We still have challenges ahead of us, but we're paving that road.
Yeah, one of the things that we've been able to do in Decatur, Illinois, at Richland Community College is provide a prep program where our young high school students can graduate with a high school diploma in one hand and an associate's degree in the other, and then go right into the job portal and or matriculate into a four-year university. It's a magnificent program, and that segues right into this conversation. What are some of the most creative ways, and this is for everybody on the panel, one of the creative ways that we are ensuring the information that we consider to be innovative and courageously creative in academia, are we ensuring that information reaches those young students, and also are we partnering with community-based organizations so that our students can transition after school into a community-based organization and not have to go right back into hell-like conditions in the home?
Yeah, as a director of outreach, that's right up my alley in terms of being innovative. One of the things that we talked about in an earlier panel, we got to lean on our faith community. We got to lean on our churches. We got to lean on our churches to be those havens. And when you do outreach, it's an evening, it's a weekend job. You're going to be out there where they are. Our marketing department does an incredible job of marketing our programs and services. We're out on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're where those students are and what they're listening to. But one of the things that I think that we fall short on, and we need to do better at it, is that using more influencers, using more student success stories of their Gen Y, Gen Z, using them as influencers to put messages out there about what's available, because those peer influencers are the ones that really get their attention and can really get the message driven. But we are doing a lot of creative stuff at city colleges, and we too have the program where high school students can graduate with their associates. So that is something we're doing here at city colleges as well. But again, using the tools available and meeting students where they are from a marketing standpoint is critical, because the billboards and the ads, stuff like that, that's fleeting. You got to get them where they are and what they're listening to.
Oh, sir.
Yeah, I agree 100%. In fact, Courtney started years ago a faith-based coalition in our community, and they meet monthly. And he, as we started to build our partnership, he invited me into those, and I go regularly. And he brings in the park districts, the United Way, the school districts, all of that, so that they can all be part of that and understanding what is happening and available as far as resources go in our community, and can help be the carrier or the champion of taking those resources and marketing them externally. I think we have great partnerships with a lot of community-based organizations like the United Way, who's helping 2,000 at-risk individuals and families that they are in need and they don't know what's out there. We have programs like the Workforce Development Solutions, who's constantly carrying that torch out there for us. And I think there's a lot happening also just from a marketing standpoint at a state level. I sit on the executive committee to help write the unified plan that we're taking a part of for the state of Illinois. And right now we're in the process of completely revamping our workforce development and apprenticeship marketing programs and how we're getting those resources out there more effectively. So there's some exciting things coming down the pipeline over the next 2 years.
Thank you.
One thing that I will say we're doing at Olive Harvey is that we just built a barber shop on our campus. And so our Dean of Enrollment has been doing a great job bringing our high school seniors, juniors, bringing them in, touring, letting them see, and getting them excited about the program, and talking about how they can go straight from graduating into the barbering program and leave with a certificate and be able to start their own business. And to support that, Project Evolve is helping to open an entrepreneurial hub also at the campus, where we'll have people come in and our students will go through a module program and teach how to get the loans, how to start their businesses, the licensing, so that our CDL truck drivers, our students in the barbering program, and students who are in the child care program can come out, start their daycares, get their own barbershop, have their own trucking company, and have everything set up and have the support, because hopefully the goal is that they'll come back to the campus and say, hey, my business isn't doing quite well, and they'll sit down with someone and say, let's figure out why we're not being successful in that area.
That entrepreneurial piece is so extremely important. Through the EnRich program, me and Tyus have been able to help 60 black-owned businesses produce 42 black-owned businesses, and 12 out of the 42 have been owner-operators, where they're making a minimum of $5,000 a week. A couple of our individuals are making $15,000 a week in that program. It's life-changing, and we just truly appreciate what we are able to do out of the Workforce Equity Initiative. Amen. Same question to you.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think for the most part, what we do, as I mentioned before, we do a lot of Facebook ads. So we utilize a lot of Facebook. I think more recently we just got on TikTok, but we just kind of level like where a lot of the candidates are. So a lot of our candidate targets, we do youth engagement. A small portion of our work is that, but we have a lot of folks that come in through our digital Facebook ads and our Snapchat and TikTok ads. That's one unique thing that we do for marketing.
Dr. Howard, quick question. How extremely important are life skills, essential skills for our students?
Oh, they're very important, and that's where you have your advisory boards come into play, because they're telling us what's working and what's not working. Mm-hmm. And then those are the things that we're offering our students to be successful. It's not just about getting the certificate and being able to say you can pass tests. It's about, do you know how to write a memo? Do you know how not to write in all caps? Do you know how to go to work and, you know, make sure that you're dressing appropriately? You're communicating that, you know, there's an issue and you need to have an off day and just not showing up to work. So those essential skills, those soft skills are critical. Those are critical to being successful. And if you don't have the partnerships with the industry, you won't know what's working and what's not working. And we need that feedback.
Same question to you, Kara.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. I mean, EnRich is a great example of a program that is essential skills, and I actually think it needs to be a statewide program to train the trainers, you know, to really help. I think everybody needs those skills, the life skills, the leadership skills in order to be successful in life. It's such an important layer on top of the academic, and so I think that's it's a critical piece of the puzzle.
Most certainly, thank you so much. Our final question. Our final question. Looking ahead, what do you envision as key priorities for the future of our workforce in clean energy, trades and labor, healthcare, our workforce period? If you could create the ideal workforce scenario, what would it look like? How do you imagine future partnerships would be? What would support look like and collaboration shaping this vision?
I can kick it off. From a trades and labor perspective, communication is always going to be key, right? So I think that what we have done that has been different from what we've done historically is the trades have a seat at the table with the workforce development entities to talk about what their needs are, and we trade information. What I've also heard from just kind of labor too is, you know, how can we ensure that we're a part of that training process as well? So sometimes that's maybe doing tours of the apprenticeship sites or doing tours of these actual sites where we have a site down maybe just south of Springfield, the Double Black Diamond Project, where we're looking to get individuals to be working on that project. So having people come out and do tours and actually understanding like what you're getting yourself into, whether it be clean energy, whether it be working from an operational perspective, but I just think having a seat at the table.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll go next. So I would say for my community, solar panels, because they can help our community. And so if I had to, if my president said today, Dr. Harville, what program would you like to see, you know, work hand in hand with Project Evolve, I would be very, very supportive and focused on solar panels. Getting our students to come in, get trained so they can get those jobs, but also bring it to the community. You know, put it on their houses, and if they don't own a house, work with their landlord so that they can have electricity in their homes at a lower cost than what they're paying now.
That's good, Sister Carol.
You know, I would say from an industry perspective, we need industry to be part of the solution and really take an aggressive effort in a leadership role. A lot of times in industry, we get so busy trying to get a product to market, deal with our, you know, margins and our production lines, and we forget to look up and get out there and be active player in making change for the things that we need. And workforce is one of those things that is such an important part of our future, particularly in our clean energy industry. In Decatur alone, we see 3,000 jobs coming down the pipeline in 3 years. We've got to be ready for that. And the last thing I would say is convening and connecting. I think we need to do a really strong job in this future. What I see is more convening and connecting of players so that that collaboration and those partnerships and the trust between those entities of academia, industry, and government can really work together better.
Thank you.
So, I'll be brief, but I want to make a statement. We told a whole generation, possibly 2 generations, not to go to trade schools, not to go into trades. We totally wiped out the entire middle class because we told basically 2 generations the trades aren't good enough, go to college. The trades are so critical to the middle class growth, to the infrastructure of every major city. Right now here in Chicago, the city has a deficit of applicants for trade workers. O'Hare Airport has enough construction and trade work for the next 50 years. We have to put an emphasis back on getting people in the trades. On our south side and our west side, we have young men we got coming out of the juvenile justice system who may not be thinking about college, but they should be thinking about or being mandated even to get a trade. Whether it's electrician, whether it's HVAC, whether it's construction. Chicago literally builds stuff 12 months out the year. So we have to really put that emphasis on rebuilding our trade workforce. And we have to do that in hand with our unions. Historically, black and brown individuals have been locked out of unions. It's been tough for them to get in there. Now is the time, because there's a need to really push and have these conversations with the unions about allowing more black and brown individuals into the unions, because there are great opportunities there, there's great workforce growth there, and it will help out tremendously.
And to second, really quick, and the unions are the ones leading the conversations now. So we are literally the ones that are at the table having the conversation about how great the trades are. We're giving the inside scoop as to this is what the entry points are. We're working with organizations like Hire 360 to ensure that individuals can pass the apprenticeship exam. We're working with organizations like the Operating Engineers Local 150 to add extra points to the application process. So he is right. We are leading the conversations. This is a great time because there is a need, not only in the clean energy front, but there will be cranes hopefully going up in Chicago in the next few years as it concerns just building happening.
I want you to make a point on what you envision for the future of our workforce, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Adeli Dorsey. I'm the Director of Workforce Development for IC Stars, Chicago. If you're not familiar, we're a technology boot camp for adults looking to upskill, folks who maybe tried college, couldn't afford college, and are now looking to upskill and find an opportunity in technology. So for us, we serve 98% black and brown folks, and our vision is really to change the landscape of what technology looks like right now, because it's very white. One of the things that we do is look far and wide and find the folks in the industry who look like the people we serve to inspire them. So for us, it's just about longevity, financial freedom. We have an 86% retention rate after 5 years in technology. And people literally go from, working at Target to then becoming a junior developer, software developer, and then climbing the ranks. So as we all know, technology is a big part of our future. It's not going anywhere. So it's really great to hear about all these different programs. And I think in order for us to have success in the city, we have to all work together. Right. And that's why I love events like this, because I think we all get so busy that not enough of that is happening. But for us, when someone isn't right for our program, what are the other resources that we can direct them to? Right. What are the other programs that we can make sure they're funneling to? So that's a little bit about what we do at IC Stars.
Magnificent. Gina Taylor, what have you seen in the classroom regarding trauma, and how has that helped, hurt, or hindered our students in the classroom?
So what the industry has told us is that they can teach them to do anything. They can teach them to run the machines. They can teach them to do the manufacturers or be in the trade. But what they can't do in the industry is teach them to be a human being, because they come into the industry with so much trauma, so much packed, just life things. So our essential skills is coupled with trauma resilience practices, right? And so we help unpack that coming from the transportation world. You get behind those 18 wheels, you have to know who you are in order to do that vehicle. And so, and going into the healthcare field, you're going into trauma situations, because trauma is what? A body experience, right? So if you're coming in with trauma and I'm sick and I'm traumatized and you want to try to take care of me, it's not going to turn out well. And so we help to unpack those trauma things and teach them resilience, teach them how to organize their life, not necessarily so much on the soft skills, because you know that's important, the soft skills, but knowing who you are, where you're going, how to handle difficult conversations when you run across a supervisor who may not, you know, agree, or they've been in the industry for so long they don't know how to talk to you. You have to have the skills to be able to have difficult conversations and be able to maneuver through those lives. You can't walk off your job because someone made you angry. You have to know how to deal with that. So that's what our essential skills really focuses on, is who you are, changing your life, changing your situations.
She preached that thing, didn't she? Amen. Well, I want to say this. This has been a remarkable moment in highlighting workforce development. We truly appreciate you all for being here with us this evening. I thank God we have some phenomenal individuals that God has given the capacity to really ensure that our future is bright in training and educating and ensuring that employment is provided to those individuals who wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity to seek out employment, especially for business owners such as yourself, who's saying there is a significant need for diversity, and I'll stand up and make sure that diversity is represented in my employment place. And those of us who work in institutions of higher education, ensuring that people that look like us not just work in our institutions, but have opportunity to receive that level of education. And then we make sure that they receive those wraparound services and resources so that we can make sure that they get through and graduate from all of the programs that we provide and have provided for them. So give yourselves a round of applause, please. We thank everybody for being here with us today, and that is our segment on higher education. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you.